Hello and welcome to another glorious episode of a bunch of Dicksniffers talking about anime. I am Dean, also your host. With me today, I have the Italian stallion, Hunter. Say hi, Hunter.
How'd you know I was Italian?
I have my Latino amigo, Carlos.
Hola, bring in the dancing lobsters.
I have, he's Jewish. It's Ari.
Hey, you totally stole that from the Amanda Show, you quack.
And also David is here too for, we can't get rid of him.
I just live in this chat room.
Alright, so today, as we discussed on the last episode, we're just going to be talking about one's work overall. That's going to be One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100. But before all that shit, what have you guys been watching? Like, anything recently? Anything good? Or reading anything?
I actually started rereading Iron Wokyeon,
Ooh, what is
which
that?
is this anime
Oh.
where this guy is trying to become the best chef, but he is a fucking dick.
Alright.
So like,
So he's like fucking Gordon Ramsay.
basically Gordon Ramsay, but extreme. So like, I don't know if he can get any more extreme, but he does.
He's already pretty extreme.
He like fucking cooks a fish alive. Like he cuts it in such a way that he puts wet towels around the vital organs. He fries it, and while he serves it, the fish is still alive with like burnt fish parts that you can eat.
So, hold up. Let me get this straight. He fries towels with his fish?
Yes, and it tastes amazingly.
Man, this
They
guy
also
is
told
a
me that
dick.
you can't eat the durian fruit with wine, otherwise you die.
Oh.
I don't know why, but it just happens. If David, if you eat a frog, just read it. You'll like it.
Are you sure this isn't mixing, like, Gordon Ramsay with Death Note or something?
Yeah, maybe. I mean, he does have the eyes from Death Note, so like, what's his face? The Shinigami's eyes.
Ryuk?
Yeah. They love apples.
Yeah.
So I've heard.
Anyway, yeah. Iron Wokyeon.
Now I'm just picturing like Ryu or right was it Ryuk just like shouting like this apple's fucking raw, you idiot.
Alright, anyone else been watching anything?
I've been I marathoned ahead of the dub for Dragon Ball Super because like the last episode last week ended on a cliffhanger and I was like fuck that shit, so I just started watching ahead.
Alright.
And I got like I think 3 arcs into the show because I have no self-control.
Nice.
Stu, what are you doing at 3 a.m. in the morning while watching Dragon Ball Super? Why? Because I've lost control of my life?
Pretty much.
Just that Protoman song in the background.
Fucking like Dragon Ball is like that show is like Girl Scout cookies. You go to eat like one of them and then just like you like look back at the box and it's fucking empty. And you're like, what happened?
I made a terrible mistake.
That's like me and these Doritos loaded. Now sponsored by Doritos loaded.
You can't do that.
Not really.
Alright, Hunter, have you been watching anything?
I'm still watching Hunter x Hunter with Abby, and I got a couple of animes lined up. Not anime, manga. Sorry.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, Hunter.
Still, what? What's
Quick
that?
question. Is that show
Yeah.
like a parody of you dating yourself, your clone?
Yes.
Cool.
Yeah,
Alright.
you've
I'll
got
watch
me. I've actually watched a video on Pornhub that I uploaded where I videotaped myself and then mirrored the video so it would look like I was jacking off onto myself jacking off.
You know, you just use a mirror for that.
If you look really hard, you can find it on Pornhub.com/.
I'm not saying just post a link in the chat right now, but
Wow.
Alright, so continue.
Anything
Oh,
else?
Well, one of them's like, I don't know, it's called like Lucifer's Spoon or some shit. I haven't actually started reading it yet, but I thought the name was intriguing and it's got good reviews.
Huh. Yeah.
Also, there's an anime for it, and I want to check that out. Wait, I don't. Citation needed on that part. I need to check that.
Chickadee check it.
But yeah, if there's an anime, I'll watch it instead of read it.
Well, alrighty then. And Ari.
Alright, so a show that I previously finished like last week that I want to talk about, it's called Rage of Bahamut Genesis.
Oh yeah.
It's actually a really surprisingly well-made show. Like, it was basically not exactly an advertisement of a popular mobile game from Japan, but like the team that owns the game just decided to fund an anime, and because they're worth billions, like they put in a ton of money into it, and it actually came out really well animated, really well scored, good story actually, because it was basically a blank slate. It just combines a bunch of like biblical and D&D stuff together, and it has like a kind of personable story about two bounty hunters helping some half demon girl as she tries to find her mother, and she apparently stole Key of the Gods, which was used as a seal to lock up Bahamut the Destroyer, which was a giant dragon that just literally was destroying everything, and the gods and the demons in the world actually teamed up to seal him away because he was too powerful for them to, destroy or contain. And it also has, you'll see stuff like Bacchus the wine god gives bounties to people.
Wait, is this the same party god that accidentally became a god? Like he was human, got really drunk, wandered into there's this like stone that's like a star that fell from the sky, and he accidentally passed the test to get the stone.
I don't actually recall his origin story.
You said it was based on Dungeons and Dragons. I think that's like a wine.
He's also a Greek deity, I think, too.
Yeah, he's the god of wine.
Bacchus?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
Bacchus.
the name for the Greek.
It's either Greek or Roman. I know there's like two of them, they're the same thing.
They're the same thing.
He's the Greek one. Although I think it's the same name in both, actually. But, yeah, and then they also add in Joan of Arc as a character, which they actually kind of wrote her in pretty well, too. And it also mirrors her actual story. So,
Oh,
yeah.
spoiler alert.
Whoa.
Whoa! But, yeah, I definitely recommend you guys check it out, because the second season is coming out in April, and it's probably going to be amazing given how well put together the first one was.
Huh. Well, that's pretty nifty. As for me, I've been watching a lot of shit because I have nothing else to do with my life. But the main thing I've been really taken by is the Tatami Galaxy, which is, man. So imagine if you took a lot of acid, you mixed in some shrooms in there, then you watched Groundhog Day, but it was set based on a guy in college instead of some guy with an existential crisis. It's got this great art style that uses I'm pretty sure it's real life photographs with the really intense filters on them, as well as really exaggerated characters, and it's a mind fuck watching that show.
It's the same guy that does Kaiba too, and I love his work. He's just crazy with his art styles.
Yeah, he's bananas. He's he also the one that did that one Adventure Time episode, right?
Yeah, Food Chain.
Yeah.
What was the anime? What was the anime's name?
Tatami Galaxy.
The Tatami Galaxy.
I'll have to check that out.
It's crazy. And one thing I'll say is the main character kind of he speaks pretty fast. You gotta be a pretty quick reader at some of those monologues to catch everything he's saying, because it's a story that repeats itself. You don't worry that much if you're not picking up everything in the background or everything that's going on. All the episodes, you'll see what's going on eventually. You just you'll pick up on it.
I think it's supposed to be fast and confusing because it's a very confusing show, so you're supposed to kind of feel disoriented like along with them, I guess, maybe.
Yeah. So, load up a big old bong and, go watch that shit, homie, you know what I'm saying, for 20... No. The Dicksniffers
So
talk about anime does not, drugs are bad.
Okay.
Here's some bad, okay?
Anime is bad.
Anime is bad. It was a mistake, if we learned anything. Except
But
Miyazaki
anime
came
can be
out
good
of...
if you smoke enough to make it interesting.
Speaking of
What?
mistakes, Miyazaki
Came out of retirement for the 70th time.
Yes, just to show us exactly why anime was a mistake.
Oh, yo, I forgot. There's this one anime that I really highly recommend.
Highly recommend. Hit.
McDonald's made an anime.
What?
What?
I think I've heard this,
What?
actually.
McDonald's has created an anime, and it's just too pure for words. It will make
What does
you
that even mean?
put a smile on your face.
Is it better than the Hamburger Helper rap album? Because that
it
shit was
is
straight fire.
They're really high up there, like the Hamburger Helper thing.
Alright.
Is it as good of an anime as Mick Kids is an NES game?
Wow. How old are you, Dave?
Not very.
But sure, I don't know reference, but sure. But yeah, they actually did make an anime. Look it up. It is so horrible. But yeah.
You guys want to move on to our main topic?
Yeah, sure.
Alright. Today, as we said in the last episode, also I said earlier, for everyone listening, we're talking about one's work, that is One Punch Man and Mob Psycho 100. And we're first going to start with One Punch Man, because that's his first main, big anime that went crazy. He was working on the webcomic for a while. Ari or Hunter, you guys know any of the background behind his webcomic?
It's basically the same thing. Well,
I mean, it's
I haven't
kind of,
actually.
it's kind of shorter in some retrospect. Like, they really kind of expanded upon it a bit more when Murata started doing the manga redraw.
And what I've heard is that, so One Punch Man was a hobby thing he did, while Mob Psycho was, his salary job.
That
Yes.
part I know is true.
That is definitely true.
So I guess Mob Psycho started first, and whatever Shonen magazine or whatever.
No, actually, One Punch started first, but
Really?
he pretty much started it as a means to get himself better at drawing, so that he could go on and do Mob Psycho.
Alright. And so everyone here has watched it, I'm guessing.
Yep.
Watched the shit
Yep.
out of it.
If you haven't, get out of here.
And man, it's one of those shows, it came out in 2015, right?
I think so? Yeah.
Kind of like how 2013 was the year of Attack on Titan, 2015 was the year of One Punch Man. This show just kind of came out of nowhere. There were some people that heard about it because they read the comics, like Hunter and Ari. You guys probably knew it was coming around the corner. But it just it knocked everyone on their asses.
Oh, dude, I knew it was coming. I was so fucking ready.
Yeah, you were so excited. I remember you telling me, because you linked me the original comic way back in the day, and I read a bit of it, but I didn't get that far in. And God, I wish I kept with it.
Yeah.
So for
It
people,
was definitely worth it, and it had me from the fucking. I keep cursing. I'm gonna try and stop doing that.
no.
It had me from the get-go. Chapter 1 at the end of it, when he punches the guy and he looks at his hand and he's like, only one punch. I knew that this was going to be different from anything else that I had ever read, and decided that it was definitely worth a shot.
Alright, so for people that might not know, One Punch Man is a story of Saitama, which is, he's a hero, but he does it for fun, and he can defeat any enemy with just one punch. And it's not just an MMA punch where he just punches someone in the jaw and they're down. This is earth-shattering punches. This is universe-ending punches.
Yep.
This shit, he does not fuck around.
One of his punches he throws, and it's so hard it literally disturbs the Earth's climate.
What?
Yes, I remember that punch.
Remember, like every punch he does looks like what happens to the bad guys in Doom when you hit it with the BFG 9000. Just gibs everywhere.
And it's this great show because they're lampooning like ideas of like Western superheroes and alongside of like Japanese like shonen manga and everything, and they just do it so well. They make a character that can win any fight so relatable and like such a great person to root for, even though you know he's going to win. And they have such great side characters too, with Genos and like Moomin Rider.
Moomin Rider.
Yes.
Moomin Rider!
Moomin Rider. All right, let's talk about Moomin Rider, guys.
The best superhero ever. He beats One Punch. He beats him.
He is I think his name is Japanese for bicycle rider.
Licenses rider. Licenseless rider.
Yeah, licenses rider. So it's really a pun, and it's freaking great.
But like, it's more than just a pun because like his fight like between the Deep Sea King, that was his name, right?
Yeah.
I think so, yeah.
Yeah, that's like emotional. That's an emotional fight between like a frail human that's trying to stand up for other human beings and like a giant monster.
Dude, the writing in that scene was so freaking good. It really, like, everyone I've seen that has watched that scene.
Yeah.
That was not. I didn't mean to use the same word twice.
It's fine.
But,
Keep rolling.
They all really got into it and really started like getting emotional. Like everyone started leaning forwards towards the screen.
And I love when Saitama and Moomin Rider, they just have some ramen at the end, and they have this great human moment with each other.
They have such a good bromance.
Yeah.
He's just such a nice dude too. Like, I want to be Moomin Rider's friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I want to be Moomin Rider. Like, Saitama is pretty cool and everything, but man, he's kind of depressed because he can't find any good fights. Moomin Rider, he always has a good fight.
I mean, and he was introduced in like such a manner that was kind of counterintuitive to how he ended up, because like you just see him helping a kid out with like a cat stuck in a tree or something. Then it's like there's these criminals that stole mechs, I guess like power armor suits or whatever, and then he just decides to face them. Even though he has like no powers, and then you just see Madhouse with this rotoscoping of him getting off his bike. That was like freaking great. It's like, hey, let's just focus on the whole he's getting off his bike now, and then he's about to fight them, and then he gets knocked out.
Yeah, he's just a dude with a bike. Like that's all he is. At least that's the reductive form of his character. But more than that, he's the underdog. He's the everyman that goes against.
It kind of seems like he's basically like Lance Armstrong minus like the steroid and stuff. You know,
And plus,
like
and plus a testicle.
Plus a testicle?
Yeah. Good stuff. Yeah. So, all right. How about some of the other side characters? Like, throw someone out there.
I really want to know what the hell Pig God's power is, because he's like an S-class superhero.
Oh, dude, okay. Have you ever seen? You've seen Full Metal Alchemist, right?
I have, yes.
He is gluttony.
Oh.
Oh, all right.
Yeah, he is.
Man.
Because there's like I forget what he was fighting, but these monsters come and the kid with all the technology, all the like the guy who fights with drones and stuff, but he's like just a little kid. Yeah, he just gets found out by like this super powerful monster, and in comes Pig God, like who just walks through a wall. And he's just like he takes a bite out of the monster and walks away.
He just like juggernauts that shit, just like busts through a wall like the Kool-Aid Man and bites him.
Man.
Yeah.
It's fucking awesome.
And we can't say enough good things about Genos. Like, what a great like disciple character for Saitama.
So, I kind of feel like what I love about the show is that it does so. Saitama isn't the typical shonen protagonist because, you know, his training arc stuff was already done in the past.
Yeah.
It was basically a backstory. And it's just now at the point where he's OP, whereas Genos is basically the standard shonen protagonist with, like, every action he does. It's painfully clear.
And they're perfect
But
foils of each other, too.
Ari, something you just said made me realize his initials are OP and he's One Punch. I'm like, god damn it.
God damn it.
I just fucking got this. I watched the show like maybe a year and a half ago.
At least,
Son of a bitch.
at least it's not miles tails per hour there, Dave. That took you a little bit longer to figure out.
His training regimen, though, like, it blew my fucking mind with how intense that was. Like,
Yeah.
it was
He's
so
gonna die.
fucking crazy.
What is it again? 100 push-ups, 100
I
sit-ups?
don't know. I feel like we shouldn't give it away on the podcast.
It's like how if you have a black belt, you have to like get a license for like a weapon license or something. We shouldn't be saying this on the podcast in case we inspire some people to train and punch a hole in the moon.
God, yes. Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Was that? No, I thought that was Scott Pilgrim that happened.
I was just saying a thing that One Punch Man could probably do.
Oh, yeah.
He pretty much kicks a hole in the moon though, jumping back to Earth.
Oh my god.
All right, let's talk about some of the
Such a
fights.
good scene.
Let's talk about some of the fights. We'll save the Boros one until a little bit, but what are your guys' favorite fights?
Oh, can I go first?
Yes.
I have one. I already know my favorite fight.
Yes.
Mine's the Carnage Kabuto or Carnage Beetle. I don't know what they call him in the dub.
All right, remind us what this fight was.
So this fight is against the House of Evolution. There's the guy who has the guy with the glasses who genetically modifies all the animals to try and make like the next step in human evolution. So like the peak of humanity.
All right.
And he genetically splices this super beast together, and it's so powerful that but it's also mentally like he calls it mentally unstable, but really he doesn't like authority. And so he locks him up, and that thing fights Saitama.
Yes.
And I don't want to give away anything, but it's great.
The Beetle guy, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, we can give away stuff. I mean, it's not that far along in the show.
But it's such a good scene. Like, that was the scene where I decided that I was going to stick with the anime.
Really, I was hooked on that thing a lot sooner than that, but
That was like 5 episodes in, wasn't it?
Well, yeah, but in
the
the manga hits it a lot faster.
oh.
Okay.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Also, I read fast.
he does.
I'm trying to think
It's
what my
true.
favorite fight is.
That's
I
a
really
great
like
one.
the original one where it shows his backstory of how he started becoming One Punch Man, where he beats up that lobster guy.
The lobster monster.
Yeah.
Crab Lanche.
He pulls out his eye and there's like just miles and miles of viscera coming out.
He just grabs him by the eye stalk and just like pulls all that shit out. Like, oh my god, this show's fucked up, and I like it.
God, yeah, man. And like, I want to talk about the end of the show. I know like we shouldn't spoil shit, but like the giant city-sized spaceship and Boros and everything. God, like what master level animation for that last fight.
Dude,
Yeah.
and I really want to point this out. As good as that looked, like, holy crap, Murata's drawing skills in the manga just made it look even better. It's just like,
That's
freaking
debatable.
glorious.
I like it in motion. I appreciate good, well-drawn manga, but they really did a lot of good things in capturing the energy of that fight in there.
Well, it's also Madhouse.
Yeah.
Sasuga Madhouse.
That house is pretty awesome.
They're mad lads. They're crazy.
They're also the ones that did Parasite, right?
Pretty
Yeah.
sure. Yeah.
Yeah, like they've been doing a lot of really good stuff lately.
Yeah, they're basically known for like animating like one season of a show really well, and then they'll never touch the second season unless your name is Hunter x Hunter.
Oh, they better fucking not though, because I need more One Punch Man.
It's
No,
coming.
I think they're gonna be doing season 2 because
Did
season
someone
2
call
was
for me?
announced. Boo.
Get out of here.
I think my favorite fight, well, aside from frickin' Boros, was probably the Sonic fight.
Oh
That
yes.
was just
That was actually the one that got me into the show originally, because I saw like a GIF of him accidentally nut tapping him, and I was just like, "Why the fuck am I not watching this show?" And I just went and started watching episode 1.
Good old speed of sound Sonic. God.
Luckily, Crab walks out. They're like, "I'll get you next time!" Like, ah.
Oh man. And he always tries to come back. And wasn't he late for the Deep Sea King fight? I think I remember that.
yeah.
Yep.
He was on the way, but he got stopped by something.
He was actually on the way with Moomin Rider, but Moomin Rider like took a left and he took a right because they didn't know which way to go.
Yeah, that's silly.
He ended up going the longest way possible.
And he could have been like pretty useful in that fight.
Oh, absolutely.
Yes.
I wonder.
I like how basically this show makes fun of the whole idea, like, okay, like every Dragon Ball Z fight, it's, the humans get their chance, then, like, maybe Gohan and, like, Piccolo get a chance and get their ass beat too, and then Goku shows up, like, 10 hours late, and, like, punches the guy once, and, like, his pants fall down or whatever, you know? Like, this show does that too, but it's like, you already know he's gonna fucking explode the guy with one punch, so it's just... Like, it's actually more interesting to watch the fights with people who aren't overpowered as shit, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like the fight, one of my favorite fights in it is the fight with Genos, like in the giant canyon to train.
man.
It's a really good fight scene,
It's
yeah.
so good because like Saitama doesn't take it seriously at all, and like the one moment that he like goes for a punch, it's like Genos saw the face of death in front of him. He just like flicks him on the nose or something. It's so silly, like how far like they go to train, and Saitama is just holding back so easily, and like just the awe in Genesis' eyes and like his talking just after that fight happened.
Oh god.
Talk about a character motivation.
That was the
I have
moment.
to say my favorite scene was
Sorry, go
in the
ahead.
second episode where they're introducing like the mole people or whatever.
Oh, yeah, those guys.
Oh yes, that scene is so good.
You remember when like the mole guy was like digging underground and out of nowhere it shows up Saitama's face just like hello, like, found you. Like they just shit their pants.
Yes.
Like that's what told me. Like just seeing how easily he, like this is not from the beginning. You already know, like this is nothing to him.
Oh yeah, that whole fight was good. Like he pulls him and makes him stuck in concrete. Yeah, and he's like, you know what? It's kind of warm in here, but like the good kind of warm, like perfect.
They just
And then
fall
that
asleep
lion
in the
guy-
dirt.
Yeah, and then the fucking lion guy.
Just try to like punch him, but then he like stops like his claws and from entering his eyes. Like Saitama just has this look of like no worries that
Yeah.
just scares the fuck out of him.
Well, I love when he just punches the guy and just shows like a zoom out and just like the grease spot of that guy on top of the building like 3 blocks away.
Yes. Yeah.
It's just like holy shit.
Yeah.
Goddamn mosquito episode.
Mosquitoes suck
Oh. Wait, how did they feed the mosquito? I forgot.
with punches.
He just
He sucks.
no he. Yeah, he smacks it like you know how you smack a bug and you try and squash it.
Yeah.
He just smacks her and sends her freaking flying into a building and she splats.
Oh man.
Yeah.
I think another part about the show that makes it so good too is just his facial expressions.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because like, everyone else is like really detailed and like intense, and then he just has like this doofy little like just blank expression on his face. Yeah, just hi.
And like you can tell when it's one's like work. Like he's an artist that has his own style and he uses it to great effect, even with all this nonsense that's going on around, like all the superfluous stuff that's in the background. But he does not want to stop making Saitama and all his other characters have butt chins and dumb faces, and it's great, and I love it.
Like that kid in episode 1 with the giant ass butt chin.
Yes.
I feel offended and triggered as one with a butt chin.
I'm sorry, I forgot about your condition, Hunter.
Wait, wasn't that the first episode though?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah,
it was
giant
the
butt chin kid.
the
yeah.
background story for Saitama. That was the kid that was getting beat up by the lobster monster.
I love too how all of like the bad guys he meets have like a really long backstory that they want to explain. Everyone's so excited about it. He just usually just knocks them the fuck out before they have a chance to even say part of it.
Like the giant.
I'm a monster truck guy. I like monster trucks, so I became a monster truck, and I'm a monster who's also a truck. And it's like shut the fuck up, like so good.
And they also play with your expectations too. Like at some point in the show, you're expecting like fights to just like, oh, the enemy versus Saitama. But for like the giant fight, the giant accidentally kills his own brother that's on his shoulder. And
Oh my god.
Oh yeah.
and then the fight starts.
Oh, yeah.
But they have fun with their concept, and like they understand what makes it funny, and also like what makes people keep watching it.
Alright, I
It
gotta
really
say,
just, like deconstructs all of like superhero and like the whole like powering up genre and stuff.
Yeah.
I was actually about to tackle that. I was
Alright.
about to say that, like, you know, the comedy in this, it kind of goes across the borders. Like, you don't need to get Japanese comedy to get this comedy.
Did it
You
jump
just have to have
fences?
seen some. You just have to have to have seen something with superheroes in it before to understand this show.
Yeah, and who doesn't understand superheroes like nowadays? Like, I've read Spider-Man. I know everything
Spider-Man?
about comic books. Yeah.
Alright, guys, it's 10:30, and we've spent about half an hour on the... Well, I mean, how long was our intro? Like, do we want to spread this evenly between this and our second mystery thing that hasn't been mentioned yet?
Don't break character, Hunter. By the way, the intro was about 10 minutes. We've been going about 20 minutes on this. But let's move to Mob Psycho. Mob Psycho 100.
I wanted to talk
You
about
said
the
it.
opening.
The opening?
One Punch's opening is pretty damn hype.
It is pretty
Oh, yeah.
good.
One punch!
Yeah.
So good.
Power! Get the power!
Like, yeah, there's only a few like openings I won't skip, and man, I cannot skip that anytime. I go back to that opening just to watch it when I'm not even watching the show anymore.
Yeah, fucking 80s speed metal in Japanese, and I love it.
It's that hot shit, it's that fire, you know? And God, it gets you pumped up to see some punching. And then the episode starts and Saitama's just in a grocery store buying groceries.
with coupons.
He's picking a wedgie out of his super suit.
Alright,
How
so
does super suit stay?
it's very
Wait,
How does it
what?
not disintegrate?
Oh, it does, all the time.
Wait, does it? I forgot.
I know
Yeah,
they
dude.
actually have one of the OVAs explains the backstory of the suit, and I think like he's got a buddy that makes new ones for him and stuff too.
Yeah, he does. He had someone who, like, wanted to be a superhero but couldn't, and so he made a costume for a hero that couldn't exist because he couldn't be it. I think... I could be entirely wrong. It's been a while.
I kind of forget exactly what it is.
I mean, I did like that the OVAs kind of introduced a little bit more of the characters that will be kind of explored in season 2, like Fubuki and the glorious best hero in the world, King.
Oh god, King.
That's the guy who's like a total Dicksniffer, right?
fitting well
Like
here.
the Class A guy who's like the head of Class A, right?
No, he's class S.
Class, that's right, yeah.
Dude is a monster.
Can we ruin it by explaining it?
No, let's move on, guys. We've talked enough about One Punch Man. Let's move on to our
Alright,
next
fine.
topic, which is Mob Psycho 100. Speaking of great openings, that opening, man.
Yep.
Oh, it's amazing.
It
Yeah.
counts to 100.
You're right, Carlos.
Actually, it counts to 99.
Oh, yes.
Fuck you.
So aggressive, Jesus. Like we talked a little bit earlier, Mob Psycho 100 is one's other project he's been working on. It's mostly his main source of revenue, if I'm pretty sure.
Yeah.
I thought it was the other way around. Mob Psycho wasn't his main source of revenue, and that's why he made One Punch Man to kind of keep, or not really made it, but kept going with it.
No, One Punch Man was his hobby. It was his pet project that he did.
Yeah, but the manga for that picked up immediately after Murata started drawing for it, and it got an anime like soon after.
Yeah, but it's kind of like a collaboration work, whereas this is his work.
Okay.
And
So.
if people haven't watched it, it's a story of Mob, who is an Esper, a kid with psychic abilities, and it's pretty much just like it's pretty much a coming of age story, really.
Yeah.
I think he's kind of more interesting than Satama is because it's like he's super powerful also, but it's not like his entire storyline about how powerful he is.
Yeah.
He wants to be a normal person. He wants to just fit in. He doesn't want to be a superhero who has all these grandiose fights. He just wants to be a normal dude who, can go on like a date or be on a sports team or something in middle school.
And it's funny how they play with that. What's the name of his brother?
Ritsu?
Ritsu. Because like Ritsu's the exact opposite of Mob. Like he's athletic, he's smart, he does well in school and everything. And like he
really wants psychic powers.
Yeah, he doesn't have any psychic powers, and so like they play with that a lot. They actually go really, really deep with their relationship as brothers in just one season of the show, and it's really interesting to see. Because Mob,
Okay, I forgot.
What's
Is
up?
it normal to have superpowers in this one?
No.
Espers do exist, but they're pretty uncommon.
Yeah.
Like Teru.
They're really uncommon. And when they do exist, like when you do find them, they're usually just people who can barely bend spoons.
Yeah.
That was great.
Kind of like the movie Looper, where it's like everyone can like make little quarters hover in their hand, like, hey, that's kind of cool, right? Like it's like a bar trick, and then there's like the one guy that can actually do shit with it, and it's like, whoa, okay, that guy's scary.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And like it's such a well-told story because of the best character in anime, Reigen Arataka. Oh my god, what a great character! He serves mostly as a mentor for Mob,
Yeah.
and like he's a con man with a heart of gold. Like he runs pretty much a psychic detective agency, and he helps people out. But he doesn't actually have any psychic powers, like he says. Like he's been lying to Mob the entire time. He's been training him, and like he's kind of
He has
incompetent.
spirit powers. They're different.
Oh, yeah.
This dude's just, my powers are so powerful, I don't want to waste it on this small fry guy, so why don't you do it instead, because you're training, I'm trying to train you.
Yeah, but it's so easy at the beginning of the show to just take him as a manipulative guy that's taking advantage of Mob, which he kind of is, but as the story goes on, you can see he's pretty much the only adult in the show, like the only guy with a good head on his shoulders, because he taught...
And he actually does care.
Because he taught Mob that it's good to go away from a fight. You don't have to fight if you don't want to. You can turn your back. You can go away. Violence is not the answer, and like that's a big point of conflict for Mob in the story. Like the great fight between Teru and Mob, that first fight. Like Mob was just fighting back like in his best way possible, trying to be defensive the entire time, and Teru's just trying to goad him into hurting him because he wants to see where their powers where they match up. And
doesn't he try to incite him into fighting? Like, doesn't he try so hard to get him to fight that he throws him through a wall hard enough to create enough friction that the wall turns into lava?
He throws him through about 4 walls, if I remember correctly, in one throw.
Yeah.
I think he does melt a wall, though, yeah, it sounds about right.
And then eventually, once Teru just is so frustrated by everything, he starts choking him. He doesn't rely on his powers anymore, he just starts choking him, and, that's when shit starts getting real.
Yep.
Because
it's weird because it goes from superhero fight to just schoolyard brawl, and it gets really real for a minute there.
Yeah, and it's great because I find Teru to be a great character and with great growth throughout the show, and it's just that one fight you've had any fight with kids that age, usually they fight and they become friends. That's usually how it works. You punch the bully in the face and you become friends with them. And once Teru got what he wanted, he saw the error of his ways. He's like, I shouldn't have done that. The world could explode because of what I manifested inside this kid. and then he's forever changed as a character, as a person.
Yeah.
And the show has a lot of personal growth in it, and I really like that. Like, not just like the main character, but like even side characters too.
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, I think Ritsu had the most development for the non-mob characters, honestly. I mean, makes sense. But it's also not just him, because his growth kind of also coincides with, like, Dimple's growth.
Yeah.
And
Yeah, like even some of the bad guys they beat up, like that Dimple, right? Like the little ghost guy.
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, like even he has some character development.
What's up, Hunter?
Dude, okay. I really want to say this, but I'm not going to give everything away. Dimple has some of the best fucking character development. In the manga, I've read past, like, it goes a little bit farther than the anime. And Dimple, he actually, like, it really elaborates on him. It shows the lengths to which he'll go to be, like, to get what he wants. And he totally becomes an asshole, fucks over everyone to get, like, infinite power. And then he gives it all away. He gives everything up just to keep mobs safe.
Yeah, I can see that coming. Like, I always thought that Dimple was probably the weakest part of the show because they didn't have all that much time to do much with him. They were pretty much focused on Mob and the other major characters. So I'm looking forward to see what else they do with him.
It's really well done too. Like I'm not going to give anything else away because it's like I was touched emotionally when it happened.
Where did it touch you? Show me on the doll where.
About like my left arterial chamber. Fuck, I can't remember the parts of the heart.
You tried though. You tried.
I believe that's somewhere in the cockles of the heart, right?
Oh yes, the cockles.
I don't
Yes.
think you know what cockles are.
It's in the heart cockles. Yeah, I took anatomy once.
Cockles are like skin, or like their hair that come out of your skin on your back.
Hunter, counterpoint to that, you are hair on skin that comes out of my back.
Wow.
Like, you know the hair that grows on the back of your neck? Those are your cockles.
You're a cockle.
So what you're saying is that Hunter is the Beast Titan.
Yes.
Yeah. Callback.
Alright,
joke.
fine, the hair that grows on the back of my neck.
So anyways.
Yeah. All right. So,
Yeah,
what are your guys' thoughts on this show overall? Like, Carlos, what was your favorite part of this whole phenomenon? I guess this whole supernatural phenomenon.
If anything, the first part was just... Wait, what?
I don't know.
Her part was when he went full 100.
Full 100 for the first time.
Yeah, well, wait, was the first time when he fought against the guy with the expanding hair?
Yeah, Teru. I'm pretty sure that was the first time.
No, his first time was against Dimple, when Dimple was powerful.
Oh yes, but we
That
didn't.
was it, yeah.
We didn't see. Did we see all that much of that fight? Because I thought it was Reagan down at the end of the tunnel, and then. Am I thinking of something else?
No,
Oh.
it was.
Oh yeah, Dimple was the
whole
cult
Laughing
leader.
Society.
Yes. Sorry, I'm getting mixed up.
Alright, well, actually, I take that back. My favorite part was the fight when he was trying to defend his brother.
Oh yes.
Oh yeah. That was
He
a
was
really
just going
good fight
all
scene.
out, and I don't know. That actually gave me chills.
Dude, that's because it was so well animated. I agree with you. That was my favorite fight as well.
They execute battle scenes amazingly. Like
It's just
great show.
they have
Jolly good show.
they have such a good understanding of energy and color, and like it's just crazy how well they do it. Because like it's not the most over the top fights in anime. There's certainly crazier stuff. Go look at like Gurren Lagann or something. But
I don't know. He does like choke slam him from 100-foot drop.
But it's anime.
Total
Come on,
building.
man. It's anime. We can find crazier shit than that.
Okay, sure.
Yeah, but
I like it though because it's like, okay, like when you look at like old Dragon Ball Z fights and stuff, they kind of cycle through a lot of the same like motions and stuff in a fight. Whereas this one, you can actually tell what the hell's going on. It's not just like flashes and punches and stuff.
Yeah.
Like it's actually like well thought out fight scenes and stuff, and you can actually like follow it with your eyes what's going on with everything. I really like that about the show a lot.
It's not
That's
the Born
just a sign of
Supremacy.
good animation.
Yeah, it really is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta commend Studio Bones for that, because they did a fantastic job with the show animating it.
Yeah. It's something else, man. And like, it won some awards at some fucking anime show. Didn't they have an anime awards thing recently?
Yeah, it won for animation because it's just really good animation.
As it
I
should.
mean,
You can absolutely.
Yeah, man.
the art is, obviously off because they're pretty much adapting exactly the manga, but
I actually like that though about it because it has like really silly stylization, but like it still fits in their universe. I think
yeah, and it actually kind of makes the animation work out because of how simplistic the art is.
And plus, a lot of the time they are adapting like frames from the original right into anime. They're not like adding all that much. The attention to detail for this show is really impressive.
Yeah.
You had something to say, Hunter?
I was just gonna say, like, everyone's met those types of people that have, like, the kinds of faces that they show. They obviously dramatize them, like, like the butt chin from One Punch, right? So they obviously, like, you've seen all those people, and so when you see a cartoon representation of people with those exaggerated features, you know exactly what's going on. You know, like, exactly what that person looks like in the real world. Like, you have an equivalent to compare it to.
I met this guy, but it's a cartoon version. It's a over-exaggerated version of it for comedic effect.
Yeah, I agree. I'm just saying that I like that comedy.
Yeah. It's one thing that one does that like wasn't really added by his impressive animators and stuff. It was he loves his dumb jokes. He loves butt chins. Like,
oh my god.
I respect it so much.
Sorry, go ahead.
I just said I respect it so much. What scene were you gonna talk about?
There's a scene where what's the girl's name that he has a crush on?
Oh god.
Tsubone, I think?
Yeah, something like that.
There's a scene where he's watching her, like, from a distance, like, with his head on his shoulders, like, just fucking off in La La Land, like, crushing so hard, and, like, all the other girls in the background, like, they come into frame, and they look normal from the neck down, but if you look at their heads, they just have fruits for heads, or, like, vegetables for heads, because he just absolutely does not care who they are in this frame.
Yeah, one's a plum, one's an avocado, I think.
I think one's a potato.
Yeah.
I can't remember exactly, or like a piece of broccoli or something like that.
The best kind of fruit.
Banana.
Yeah, it's.
And it's so, like, it hits home because as someone who zones out a lot, I will focus on one thing and then everything else just does not matter.
I'm curious, do you relate a lot with Mob overall?
A little bit. I had asthma as a kid and I wasn't super, like, good at athletics until high school.
Dude, Body Improvement Club are the best bros.
They're the broest bros.
They are the movement writers of the show, yeah.
I love that these guys that are really into lifting aren't like the stereotypical jock assholes, because like anyone that's ever been to a gym and talked to one of those guys, they're usually the nicest fucking people in the gym.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they're there to better themselves, and when they see other people bettering themselves, they just want to help, and it's great to see that.
We like to have fun around here, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's definitely like one of my favorite scenes and stuff was like when that club gets founded, just because like it completely flips your expectations of what's gonna happen. And then just like they're just really nice guys. Like they're totally cool with this like wimpy little skinny kid joining them because he wants to better himself. Like, yeah, bro, that's good. You can do that, man. We believe in you.
Hmm?
Yeah, and then they go to fight against the people in Teru's school just to get Mob back.
Yeah.
Oh. And not only that, they let the weird people in their club, in their room, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
The telepathy club.
Yep.
But that's not club. They don't have enough members.
Yeah.
Remember, it's just the weird people.
So you guys can hang out here as long as we can keep our weights here.
Exactly.
It's great. They're great characters and they're done so well. And they could have easily just made them stereotypical, like, just regular ass shonen adversaries. But they didn't.
So should we have an entire 5-minute segment devoted to Reigen Arataka's secret moves?
Oh god.
Oh god.
Oh god, I almost forgot about those.
Salt splash.
This is a salt splash. It is Rick and Arataka's secret move where he mindlessly throws salt around the room.
Yes.
And blinding
Reagan's secret
freeze.
move where he puts it
You know it has to
in
be.
his hand, punches you in the face.
This won't work right. It has to be purified first.
The password is "Get a job, you bum."
Oh man, Reagan is like a great character. Like you can quote me on this. If Reagan was president, like man, things would be a lot different.
Reagan was president.
Mob Psycho, tear down this wall.
I set it up for you and knocked it out of the park.
Oh, is that a fully Cooley joke?
No, not really. Not everything is an anime joke. Sometimes I,
don't
just
like
say
sour
things.
stuff though.
It's not a normal pimple.
Alright, more about Reagan. Like, the fact that he's just like a massage therapist and like that's how he helps people with their problems. Like, what a great joke.
I like his okay. I feel like we should keep going on his secret moves because massage therapy is one of them.
Yes.
Yes.
It's a really good secret move.
You just gotta.
You gotta believe.
Yeah,
Yes.
what's one of the secret moves? Doesn't he like pull like a watch to hypnotize somebody and then just kick him in the nuts when they're not looking at him?
Yeah.
I think it was like when during the whole like Esper fight in the
Yep.
Claw building. It's like, watch this coin,
Oh yes.
and then he just sucker punches him.
That was his
It's a really good secret move.
It was like Esper side hook and Esper drop kick. These are the secret moves where Reagan takes advantage of people who don't think he's about to fight them and just sucker punches them.
You know, I think his best secret move is one of the rivals, Jesse from Pokemon, when he dresses up as a girl.
Oh god.
Okay, then they just call him out immediately, like, hey, who's this fucking weirdo in the dress?
I'm just a high school girl.
Shave his legs.
Yeah.
Should we talk about his greatest moment, his shining star moment at the end of the show?
Yes.
I feel like we shouldn't give anything away.
How about we say, hey, spoilers, if you haven't watched the show, skip ahead right now. Alright, let's talk about it. It's so good.
Baton Pass.
What?
Baton Pass. That's the Pokemon move they use when they move the special things from one Pokemon to the other. You know?
Yeah, shit. They just fucking. so Mob did all of the stat upgrades, and they did baton pass to Reagan.
Exactly.
And that is how you sweep someone's team of legendaries with a fucking Magikarp.
Yep.
It was a splash attack.
Alright, it's Magikarp's Heroes Splash Attack again!
So what we're talking about is at the end of Mob Psycho 100. It's such a great ending because it's perfect with the way that they set up Mob's character and Reagan as a mentor, because it's a great example of Mob not fighting. He chose not to fight and let an adult handle it because he's the only one that should handle it. And
Should
so,
probably elaborate a little more.
how about you do that for me, buddy?
100% gratitude.
Actually, it was 1,000% gratitude. Thank you very much.
Oh.
Oh,
Scrub.
man.
Yeah.
You want to fight later? I'll meet you in the parking lot.
Fight Me
You
IRL
better
is
call
going to be...
Hunter the bus driver, Ark. He just took your ass to school.
No, we don't like we're Ruby fans. We've been over this.
That was a good one. That was some shit right there. You throw dark, Dave. You throw dark.
But Dean, I feel like you should keep going. This was your rant.
It's not really a rant. I'm just talking about the show, and other people can talk.
All right, cool. Just chill, man. I'm not trying to start a fight in the parking lot.
He's not going 100 on you.
Fight Me IRL is going to be the name of this episode. All right. So at the end of the show, they find all the Claw operatives that have been kidnapping all these kids.
They've been kidnapping Esper.
Basically, the adult Espers that are bent on world domination, stealing children as first to turn into their child army, basically.
Yeah, and eventually there's a lot of fights with Mob and everyone, and Teru joins in too. And eventually Reagan just shows up out of nowhere at the end. He's like, "What's going on here, guys?"
Oh god, the way he shows up.
Oh, that was such a great cliffhanger.
He just fucking slips on a banana peel and just careens forward through everything in life, and somehow it works out for him, okay?
And by the end of this whole thing, like he realizes that someone's gonna have to fight. Like these claw guys are petulant little children masquerading as adults with superpowers. And so Reagan puts forward his advice that he's been trying to mentor Mob, which is you don't have to fight. And Mob takes that to heart, which he manifests as 1,000% gratitude, and gives him all his powers. Gives Reagan all his powers.
With your powers combined, I am Captain Reagan.
And Reagan becomes the most powerful creature on the entire planet for a few.
I am President Reagan.
For like a few minutes, and it's fantastic.
What kind of element is heart?
The best kind.
It's a fake emotion.
Wow.
Was that translated? Was Captain America a dub?
Captain America?
Captain America or Captain Planet?
Look how dumb you look.
Planet.
Captain Planet was a US show, I believe.
Then what? They have no excuse for heart. Then
Corazon!
like it has to be like life or something. Why the? Never mind. Let's go back to Reagan.
It makes sense, I think, because it's like, I don't know, like the power of actually giving a fuck about your planet. Like, just calling it heart's a lot easier, I guess, than calling it giving a fuck about your planet not blowing up.
Guys, we gotta save this for the Captain Planet episode, alright?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's gonna happen.
Best anime, by the way, guys. Just best anime. Manga was way better for Captain Planet. Just gonna throw it out there.
I'm more of an Avatar fan when it comes to anime.
Yeah.
The one with Sigourney Weaver in it.
You know it.
Good old Smurf berries.
Alright, so at the end of this whole thing, Reagan fights all the Claw members, right? There's a few that were in the fight because they got taken care of beforehand.
Yeah, he fights the two main guys with that chapter of Claw.
And man, is it something glorious to behold, because as the show sets up, all these supervillains are just pretty much just children pretending to be adults, with the one guy with the giant plastic sword that Reagan just makes fun of because it's a giant toy sword that he breaks in half, and the little lowly kid, whatever the hell, in the gas mask, and it sets up these themes at the beginning of the show and just pays off so well by the end that you don't fucking care that Mob isn't fighting. You don't care at all. You've seen him fight, you know what he's like, but now you want the character to grow, so you let Reagan take his place, and he just deflects black holes with his hand.
Such a good scene. He just fucking, he's like, nah, why not? And he, casually backhands black holes out of the way.
He's like, I've seen some shit, you guys are fucking phonies.
And I love, I'm guessing there's some doubt in Mob's mind that Reagan is psychic, but I love that because Mob transfers his powers. Everyone else thinks, oh my god, this is the strongest Esper in the fucking world. And, Cover is completely still solid by the end of the first season.
Oh. The only person who knows is Dimple.
And Mob kind of hints at it, doesn't he?
Yeah, does Mob know that he did that to him, or was it just
I don't know. Mob does not. He didn't do it on purpose.
It's kind of
He has to talk with Dimple, right?
What's up?
What?
Reagan does end up talking with Dimple in the end, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you actually see him in the end afterwards. Yeah, I remember that now.
So does his powers get activated or something?
Yeah, he only has the ability to see ghosts after the end.
I guess he just kind of got some residual psychic energy off of him that just kind of allows him to do the basic shit now.
Yeah, because he spent all of it except for the barest minimum in the fight with Claw.
Yeah.
But I guess that also means that maybe he can be awakened later on or something like that, because it's kind of hinted that people have the
isn't.
power in them. Okay.
Okay, spoiler alert.
It's
I
his
was-
secret ability is you think he's gonna get stuff, and he doesn't.
It's kind of a spoiler alert, but it's also like he would be wrong for his character to get powers that easily.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
After
Oh,
all the shit that he's gone through, like the whole point is that Mob is supposed to have a parent or like a adult figure
A sensei.
that doesn't have psychic powers but can still function in society. And he has this fucking con man who really doesn't function in society but still kind of functions in society.
Oh man,
Yeah.
it's great. And when I first watched this with you, Hunter, like as soon as Reagan showed up, I was like, "This is the best character. He's great." And I was hoping that he was secretly like a really powerful Esper, like really early on. And man, all my dreams
Or you
came true.
disappointed.
All my dreams came true by the end.
Yeah.
Any final thoughts on Mob Psycho?
Good show? Not a good show.
I think that the opening was even more hype than One Punch Man.
Actually, talking about
Yeah.
this, what are your guys' thoughts on One Punch Man versus Mob Psycho? What show do you like more?
Mob.
Mob Psycho?
So,
The
That's a good
anime.
question, though.
Like,
I kind of feel, at least for me, the story of Mob Psycho is better, but I like the world of One Punch more.
All right.
I like the story of what you call it?
Mob Psycho
Mob
100.
Psycho, but the comedy of One Punch Man.
Yeah.
I think I have to agree on that one, yeah. Because, like, One Punch Man does have some really good humor in it, but I feel like Mob Psycho... Well, I don't know, actually, that's backwards what you were saying.
as all my friends have put it, Alex, he basically, what he told me was, One Punch Man was, like, what's the creator's name again?
One.
One.
One, yeah, so...
Two.
So, one used, what's it called? One
The
Punch
loneliest
Man
number.
as a building block, and then he perfected it, a story with Mob Psycho. So like, he was toying around with the ideas of the strongest character, and then he fully fleshed it out with Mob Psycho. That's the way he put it, and I sort of agree with him. Alex, he said that, my friend. Yeah.
I can see that. But I also think that One Punch Man, it wasn't really trying to go for story. It was just, alright, this is what's going on, and we're just gonna build like some ridiculous comedy bullshit off of this.
But then, on the other hand, you have moments like Moon Rider versus the Deep Sea King, which is incredibly like emotional storytelling.
King.
Well, I think part of the joke of One Punch Man is that everyone has these elaborate backstories, and Saitama just does not give a fuck about any of them. He's like, look guys, I don't care what the fuck. I don't know why you're a monster truck, but I don't fucking care.
Exactly. Like that's the entire reason that they had the Moomin Rider versus Sea King scene is because it sets up the whole like dramatic lack of a climax when he fights.
Everyone hates that.
When Saitama fights the Sea King.
Movement! Movement!
But then
It's-
even
it's-
when something like that does happen, and he like anticlimactically beats the guy in one punch, like spoiler alert,
Whoa.
it still has like a lot of development in it too and stuff because he's willing to sacrifice all the glory for it to make everyone else look like they did their part, and they absolutely did. Like they held him off long enough that people didn't fucking die.
Oh,
Yeah.
I get it. I understand, and I agree. That's why I said I did agree with what Carlos was saying. His friend, whatever, said. You said his name was Alex? I don't know this guy.
Yeah,
Oh, Alex, you say?
Algae.
Oh, alright. So,
Oh, damn. Fucking Plankton up in this
they're both incredibly brilliant shows that really, they just nail what they're going for, and I probably can't say which one I like better. Like, I can go back and watch One Punch Man and, like, laugh and chuckle to myself like a little boy, and I can just go and watch Mob Psycho and really get involved, like, invested in the characters. So I can't really say right now which one I like more, but, man, Mob Psycho is really good, guys.
I would rate both of them as a 10 out of 10. And, like, the details of which
Duh.
one's better than the other one, I don't know. 10 out of 10.
Yeah. Alright.
I would rate it as chicken drumstick
Yeah.
out of cheese.
Yes.
Hunter,
So
how
Would
many
rate
Yogg
it as,
stars?
that, like, moon face emoji out of eggplant.
What? Okay, guys, you realize you have to give a numerical scale at some point.
Why?
Did I fucking stutter?
Okay. Alright, fine.
Alright.
Carlos, Dean, what are your guys' ratings?
I
for,
give-
one's work.
It's because I have such a hard time giving anything perfect scores. Like, so I'm giving them both 9 out of 10s.
What is this?
Well, Mob Psycho, I'm gonna give it, well, it has 97 chapters, so I'll give it 97 out of 100.
That makes sense.
That's almost 100.
Let's
That's
see, how many
solid
chapters?
logic.
And however many chapters are in One Punch Man, that's how many I'll give it.
One.
A lot.
Yeah, a lot out of a lot.
It's like
Yeah.
130, I think, right now.
130 out of 131.
Well, that's my rating right there.
Alright.
31.
Well, I'm just gonna say, yeah, not like 9.5 and up out of 10 for yeah, at least.
Yeah.
And that's just the harshest rating I could possibly give. Like, I would give a 10 out of 10, but if you want me to be as harsh as possible, I would say 9.5.
Yeah.
Alright.
They're brilliant
That's
shows.
You broke its legs there.
Well, I guess in that regard, then, like, since we all agree these shows are fucking great, what is something about both these shows that we don't like?
Like I
Okay.
said earlier, I don't like how Dimple was characterized all that much. They didn't do very much with him that I felt they could have pulled off in Mob Psycho. And for One Punch Man, they didn't have enough time to go into a lot of the different heroes from the Hero Association.
Yeah.
I can kind of see that, yeah, like not enough world building, basically, in One Punch
I'm not
Man.
entirely certain if those actually count as negative aspects, because you're just saying, like, I'm sad that they only released one season.
Well, no, they had time to if they wanted to. Like, not expanding on the world they set up is a legitimate criticism.
You're saying they should have worked on that faster.
Yes.
Because they do get into it later.
Yes, but not as much as they could have.
Okay.
It's kind of hard for me to criticize what it is I don't.
That's
What I-
kind of the same here, yeah, because, like, I like everything about both the shows enough that I have trouble figuring out what I actually don't like about them.
Yeah. Like,
Yeah.
they're both solid 9s out of 10. So it's really hard to pick something apart from it that's like, okay, they could have done this better. I guess, like, at least with One Punch, they could. I mean, obviously, later on, they do go a little bit more into the S-class heroes some more, but I kind of feel like maybe they could have expanded a little bit more about the hero organization, because that's actually something I really liked about One Punch, the whole hero organization, because like, oh hey, we get to rank our heroes,
Yeah.
but they didn't really expand too much on it, because they mostly just, okay, Saitama's class C, and he has to work his way up, and then here's Genos in the class S, and here's some of the class S guys.
Alright.
Alright, pretty good discussion, guys. You want to move on?
Wait, what?
Alright.
I didn't go yet. Fuck you.
Oh, so rude.
So, I'm gonna say that for Mob Psycho, it's the negative factor that is most prominent for me is its slow start. I watched the first episode, and at least a month passed before I watched the second episode. But after I watched the second episode, I marathoned through the rest of it.
Yeah.
Okay, I actually kind of agree with that. The
Yeah.
start was slow.
But
Yeah, I feel like One Punch definitely does start a lot faster than Mob Psycho does.
Oh yeah, it does.
and I'm really trying here, but I can't think of a negative thing for One Punch Man, and I think that's why I was so freaking into it, and I still am. Like, I don't know. It really resonates with me.
Huh.
Okay.
So Carlos, do you have any final thoughts, or did we hit everyone?
I agree with Ari in the sense of I can't really think of any of the negative parts
For
at the
which one?
moment.
For both of them?
Yeah, I really enjoyed both of them. If anything, they do not have more seasons. I would love for there to be more, but
Yeah.
I also understand, hey, let's close the book, let's end the story, let's end it on a good note, and not jump the shark. Let's not milk it for the money.
Well, they have more.
You know?
They have more material to work with. It's just animation takes a while.
That too.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
it also
I think-
takes a long time for Murata to frickin'
So if anything, let's end it on the good note, and let's leave it there. So I'm okay with it. And
Like,
yeah.
I think that is definitely like the one part that I don't like about both series is that they're only 12 episodes each, so it's like they end super fast, and I'm like, fuck, I need more of this right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotta say, part of the reason that I can't think of anything for One Punch Man might be because, I read Murata's work, which was, like, basically a rewrite, so they had a chance to redo everything that they did badly. And then the anime was a rewrite of the rewrite, so they got two chances to smooth everything over. And so I didn't get the whole first time through.
Yeah.
Okay.
I do really like though that the guy that created One Punch Man was doing One Punch Man just for fun, and then somebody who actually was like a professional came by and redid it to do it better.
He's just a
Just
mangaka
because
for
he's like,
fun.
You know what, this is
Because it basically just kind of like mirrors the actual story for the show,
Yeah.
Yeah. I think Murata also did Eye Shield, which was
Are those just
pretty
glasses? An eye
I
shield?
think I've heard that one.
Yeah.
But if there's more stuff he's done though, I'll definitely like look at it because it's awesome.
I should have a counter for
Yeah.
all my whiffed jokes.
Alright.
Alright, you want to... Alright, let's move on. We had a pretty, solid discussion about those two shows, but now we're going to talk about our soapbox picks for this week. And not all of you have to join in if you don't have anything, that's fine. But this is the point of the show when we get to just rant and rave about something that really piqued our interest, whether it was good or bad. I usually go for good, but if you have a giant rant waiting for, Sword Art Online or something, can't have enough of those.
Or Ruby.
Or
Oh,
Ruby.
damn.
We're just digging that knife in deep, aren't we, guys?
And twisting it too, like a corkscrew. Alright. Does anyone want to volunteer to go first?
I have a small rant.
Alright.
Very small one. Fuck people that say Yu-Gi-Oh is better than Magic. That's all I have to say.
Yes, they're wrong.
That is a strong viewpoint, and I am going to take neither stance.
Fuck you. It's all about Magic.
Dude, fucking Magic had 23 years to get all those rules right and all those cards in. Yu-Gi-Oh hardly has anything. It's all garbage and terrible, and everyone that likes it is bad.
Wow.
Wow.
Guys, we haven't alienated enough listeners in this episode. I'm just trying to meet our quota.
Alright.
No,
So-
you're right.
You can't have an anime podcast without being fucking salty.
Yeah.
So there's this anime called Rail Wars, right? And I don't know.
I know what this
about it,
is.
other than the fact that it's about going to school to drive trains. So if we want to watch an anime about train school, it's on the table.
Planes and plantains.
I don't know, but it sounds really bad.
Lots and lots and lots and lots of trains.
Lots of trains. Big trains, little trains, even trains with giant anime eyes.
Slow trains.
I don't know. It could have potential. So
Are you gonna watch some of it?
I don't know. I'm throwing it out there. If we want to pick Rail Wars,
No,
we can all watch a
this
couple
is not
episodes.
this is not what we're doing right now. This is a soapbox. If you have a show that you want to rant about, like you liked or you didn't like, this is when you talk about it. Suggestions.
Oh, I'm out of order.
You are. That's coming up. That's coming up next time.
This whole podcast is out of order.
Can we order a new hunter then?
Oh,
No, it's okay. There's two.
I get
I
it.
think it's like Bogo Hunter, right? Hunter.
Yeah.
Terrible jokes.
Can we just call you Hunter Hunter from now on, like Misa Misa from Death Note?
I mean, you can, but it would just sound like you have a really specific stutter.
Or
For one name.
Or we could go into the Cosma joke.
Yeah.
Hi, Kazuma here.
Yes, I'm Cosma.
Cosma Desu.
All right. Anyone else have any soapbox?
I got one actually. Bakano.
Oh God, yes.
It is an amazing show. It's the same guy that did Durarara, same universe as Durarara.
Yeah.
It's one of the few shows, like, usually once I get into a show, I'll skip the introduction to the show because I just want to get through and get to, like, the next part of the show instead of, like, watching the whole, like, minute and a half long, like, little music and shit to get into it.
Yeah.
This is one of the few shows I don't skip the intro to.
It's so good,
Because
man.
It's just so good. It's just, like, noodly, crazy jazz. The whole show takes place in the 1920s and the late 1800s. It's people in, I think, like, the 80s or something like that, looking back and trying to piece together events that happened, like, during those time frames. And it's the story of this one group of people it's all, like, early 1900s, like, late 1800s America. And the dub for it is one of the few dubs that I feel like actually makes the show better.
Yes.
Like, that doesn't happen very often, but, like, the people that do the dubs of the show have, like, these kind of, like, New Yorker wise guy accents, and they just nail it.
It's like, it's Cowboy Bebop, the fucking Bakano dub, and the Ghost Stories dub. Those are the three holy grail of dubs.
Pretty much, yeah.
It's a fantastic show.
It's really good show. Like, you find out almost immediately it's not just about bootleggers and gangsters. There's, like, some supernatural weird shit happening. I don't want to spoil it because it gets so fucking weird after the first episode that, like,
Yeah.
if you don't know it's coming, you're like, wait, what the shit? Like, this is awesome.
It is really Tarantino-esque with the way they tell their stories. Actually, I don't think Tarantino would go that weird with it, though.
Yeah, actually, that's actually a pretty good point, because it kind of does, like, the whole Pulp Fiction thing of, like, having 3 or 4 different storylines that sort of meld together, and
Yeah.
you get that sometimes in Durarara, too.
Yeah.
Which you can kind of tell it's just this guy's style, but I feel like Bakano does it better.
Yeah. It's a fantastic show that everyone should watch.
And also, if you watch the show Durarara, there's a couple of Easter eggs in it. A few characters from Bakano show up in Durarara in the background at one point and have, like, 2 lines, just as, like, a little, like, haha kind of funny thing.
I don't think I've caught those.
And
It is pretty funny, right? You're right, Carlos. It's a knee slapper for sure.
another thing that happens is there's a password for a website in Durarara. When they type it in, the password's actually Bakano.
Oh man, I
I saw that. It's just like, that's fucking great. I love that.
That's pretty
You know,
cool.
I never actually realized that was the password.
Yeah, the password's Bakano. Like, I saw they're typing, I'm like, son of a bitch.
Freaking great.
Which
And,
I actually thought that one of the characters in Durarara might have been a demon from Bakano or something, but I think I'm totally wrong on that one.
Somewhat of a spoiler. Well, I'm not going to go deeply into it, but near the end of the show, there's another Bakano reference that I know of. And you're really going to enjoy it once you get to that part.
I probably really will, yeah. Now, I'm curious too, Durarara, is it just at season 2? Like, is that the end of the entire series? Or is it open-ended enough that they actually make it to where you can have more if you want to?
Well, I mean, season 2 is split into, like, 3 different cores. So.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that. Yeah, it's like basically like 3 mini seasons of 12 episodes each, kind of, that have different arcs to them. Yeah.
Yeah, and it's all kind of like a setup. Like, I really do like about Durarara how it's just about, like, a strange city where all this stuff happens, and yet it almost seems like it's normal.
But when you realize that Bakano's the same universe as Durarara, it makes a lot of sense why all this weird shit's happening and no one seems really fazed by it.
Yeah. You have something to say, Hunter?
Yes, I was actually going to say I do have something to soapbox.
All right.
But it's a manga. It sadly wasn't adapted as an anime.
All right.
So it's called Siren, Psyren, and it's something I read a while ago. It's kind of like it's a little more complicated than your basic shonen, but it's really good. I think it was 150 plus chapters. It ran for a good while, and it's about a bunch of characters get chosen by this god figure to participate in this game, and they get transported into the game world, right? But then they later find out that the game world is actually the real world 10 years into the future, and that the god character is someone who developed powers by living through basically the end of the world, which happens between the present time and 10 years in the future.
That's pretty cool.
And everyone who goes into the future gets exposed to the radiation or whatever and develops some sort of power, but they go back and forth between the future and the present, like whenever they complete an objective in the game, and they go back and they try and figure out a way to stop the end of the world.
Huh.
Sounds fucking interesting.
Yeah.
It does sound pretty cool.
I might check that out.
Is it written by anyone that we might know? Like anyone that has work that?
I could check. It says it's written by Toshiaki Iwashino. He also wrote The 10th Division, Dogchild, Mieru Hito, Godland Company, Sakuran, and Kagami Gami.
I've heard of Kagami Gami. I haven't seen it or read it though. Pretty cool.
Yeah.
How many chapters is it?
150.
Is it already
Plus-
over, I'm guessing?
Oh, it's way over.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Wait, what? Why is One Punch Man season 2 on my anime?
Probably because the announcement, technically they have it there as a placeholder.
Okay.
Yeah.
What if he's gone 10 years into the future where it exists, and then he watched it and came back here?
I would spoil the shit out of it for you guys.
Okay, guys, listen, I heard he punches guys and they explode in one punch.
What?
Fuck, I'm sorry.
God damn it.
Does anyone else have a soapbox? I feel like our podcast may be running too long in this episode.
I do have a soapbox. So, an old show that's definitely a favorite for me to watch is Trigun.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
So it's an old it's a pretty old show. It was like 98. It's one of the 3 recognized shows of the time that are all kind of space western style, along with Cowboy Bebop, and I think it was
Outlaw Star?
Outlaw Star, yeah.
Yeah.
So it just basically, the premise of it is that there's a guy named Vash the Stampede, and he has a bounty on him for $60 billion double dollars. And it's because he destroyed the city. And so, it's like, okay, why does he have a bounty and how did he get it? So, it actually mostly follows the perspective of 2 insurance agents who try to follow Vash around to minimize any damage that goes on.
Wait, so the main characters are insurance people?
Well, Vash is the main character, but you start off by following the insurance agents, and then they eventually meet up with Vash, but he's completely different from what they expect, because he's, like, really goofy compared to how everyone thinks he's, like, some bloodthirsty murderer or something. And it really is nice because Vash is a lovable character. He's goofy. He doesn't want to hurt people. He he tries to help people as much as possible, and he always gets into trouble, mostly because of like stuff that has absolutely nothing to do with him. Like, it's just like he has a reputation, and the town is just trying to capture him to get money because they want to save their town from this evil doctor or whatever. And so even if he gets himself hurt, he just tries to go out of his way to help people as much as possible. And he's also a really good sharpshooter.
The fastest gun in the West.
Yeah, I never actually
Yes.
watched the entire series, but I've seen bits of it here and there. It was one of those shows that I forgot what time it came on Adult Swim, so I never like sat down and watched it all the way through.
For me, it was one of those shows that, like, you know, Adult Swim came on late, and as a child, I didn't stay up late consistently. So it's just one of those shows where I saw occasionally.
Yeah, it's kind of how it was with me too.
Yeah. And so it actually kind of delves into his morality and some of his psychology, and it goes into that more as they start revealing more of his past later on in the show.
If you want to like stop giving stuff away, and then we could, if you could like suggest it, like we could actually do that for another week.
I mean,
I'd be down for that.
Yeah.
Yeah. I do want to say that the adaptation kind of came out as the manga was still going on, so it kind of ended early. But I'm somewhat satisfied with how the anime ended, and I do want to read the full manga, which is like 3 volumes of Trigun, and then I think 15 volumes of Trigun Maximum is the full story. But I was completely okay with how the anime panned out, and I would love it if it was probably revisited and adapted fully.
Huh.
Well, that's a good sign.
Yeah.
Alright, and my soapbox picked for this week, and then we'll wrap it up.
Alright, moving on.
No, that's good. You had a lot to talk about with that. It's been one of those shows I've been wanting to watch at some point. And, like, I just never got around to it. Like, I never watched that much Adult Swim or anything. But I'll probably check it out here and there. I didn't have cable for, like, many years.
That makes sense.
So I still don't have cable.
Well, we have the internet.
Exactly.
Yeah, you're not missing out on a whole lot with not having cable, honestly.
Yeah, I understand.
Yeah.
I understand that. Alright, before we pick our next topic and end this shindig, so my pick for this week, it's a video game adaptation to anime, which I know the rough history of adapting video games to anything besides another video game is a bumpy road that is full of potholes, and it usually isn't done well. But for this one fucking time, they nailed it, and that is Persona 4: The Animation. So Persona 4 is a Japanese RPG, and stop if you've heard this before, it's a bunch of high school kids that get superpowers, and they go on a hero's journey. You guys ever heard of this sort of thing before?
Yeah, like the monomyth and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, you know, it's pretty typical, but the way they do it is so clever. And in the game, it's I guess 100-hour JRPG. I beat in like 60-something hours. I first heard of it because GiantBomb.com, they did a pretty extensive playthrough of it back in the day, and that's where I first saw the game. And man, the characters are they're so well done, and they're so human because they're not perfect. Let me name off some of the characters. You have Yu, which is the main character of the story. He's the protagonist in the video game. Yosuke is probably the closest thing he has to a best friend. It kind of depends on, in the game, what choices you make. You have Chie, Yukiko, Naruto, like all these different characters that they all have their own insecurities, they all have their own paths to go through as the story progresses. And they have problems. Like, it's a story that's pretty much a serial killer story, with a lot of twists and turns, and there's copycat killers, and there's a lot of like things you weren't expecting, and it goes really like Twilight Zone-ish with a lot of stuff, and like really mythical by the end. But it's all it's all wrapped in this personal story of kids just trying to accept who they are and their differences and like being a person. And they deal with stuff like homosexuality, they deal with stuff like body image issues and like insecurities and jealousy and stuff. And they wrap
So it's relevant for today's crowd.
and they wrap it around this great world that is built up so well, around all these great characters that just they work so well together. And they adapted this story that would be so hard to do, I would think, into an anime, which is like, what, 22 minutes long, 24 episodes a season, and they just nailed it. Even the little side quests in the video game, they did as episodes where the main character's just going around doing stuff. Like, it's not a big main story thing, but they put it in there because they cared about the story that was told in the game, and it wasn't just like a promotional thing to get people to buy this video game. It was a story they wanted to tell again in a different medium. And all the original voice actors came back. Actually, that's an asterisk. So, game came out originally PS2. There were 2 voice actors that retired by the time they re-released it on Vita. And so the 2 voice actors, they have the new voices, but not the old ones, because those guys aren't around anymore. But I like both of the sets of voices. They're all great. Some Critical Role people are in there. If you watch that, like Sam Riegel,
Really?
voice of Scanlan Shorthalt, plays a great character, and I can hear that character's voice whenever he starts yelling on that show on Critical Role. Like you can hear it in there, and it makes me smile every time. And yeah, it's just a well done show, and every time I hear people talking about how video games can never be adapted well to other mediums. Like, I think, like, they need to watch this show.
So, you played the game too, right?
Yeah, I played Persona 4 The Golden, which is the Vita version.
So, somebody going into the series completely dry and not knowing anything about it, I don't know, phrasing? Okay,
Go
phrasing,
in,
sorry.
yep.
Are we still doing phrasing?
I guess we're still doing phrasing, yeah. So, okay, going completely blind. That's the one. Blind, not dry, you know?
Bite the pillow.
Words. I know how to use words properly.
Bite the pillow, I'm going to cry.
Okay, so which one would you prefer? Like, which would be better for somebody like just blind jumping into this series? The game first or the anime first?
Do you like JRPGs with decently big dungeons and a little bit of grinding?
I do. I've played, let's see, Final Fantasy like 6 through 10,
Alright,
and then Chrono Trigger.
if you can get through that
Well,
shit,
that's
then
okay.
you're fine. Go play Persona 4, and then go watch the anime. You'll probably like it a lot because you'll have a lot more time with the characters and you'll know them a lot better. But anyone can jump in and understand the story and be into the characters just by watching the anime. It's that well done of an adaptation.
So basically, like, it would be like if they made like a Final Fantasy VII anime, which I think they did, but it wasn't. It was like one movie and it wasn't very good.
Yeah, I think
remember
they
correctly?
Advent Children, yeah.
Yeah, it'd basically be like watching the plot from that game as a movie, basically.
Yeah. And one thing I really liked about it is, so it's an RPG, so they have different endings and stuff. So by the end of the show, they have like the normal good ending, but then they do like an OVA, I think it was, or something, and they get like the one secret true ending that I fucking got in the game that was really hard and kicked my ass. And it's great that they would put in stuff like that.
Nice.
Great job. Let's finish the show.
I remember too. I was watching a panel at a convention about like it was, what was it called? It was Yokai Girls Gone Wild. It was like about evil like spirits and stuff of women in Japanese folklore.
Yeah.
And they mentioned this one character that they actually do it in a Persona game. I'm not sure if it's Persona 4, but it's like this one woman that basically like she died and her husband went to the afterlife basically to get her.
Oh, that's a Shinto myth of Izanagi and Izanami.
Yeah. And she like was really pissed they took forever to get there, and she was like, okay, just like don't look back while you're coming to get me, buddy. He's like, okay, cool, and he looks back and sees her, and he's like, oh shit, I'm getting the fuck out of here.
Oh,
and
no,
basically
no.
just like runs out first and like shoves a boulder in the way of her.
No, that's a Greek story actually.
Well, it's also in this too, I think. I'm not entirely sure. I think it's also like a Japanese folklore too, like something similar to that one.
It's probably in
But
there.
like, she's basically like this demon that like it's a woman that's so pissed off that if she's ever released into this world, she's gonna just fuck everything like to death.
Oh.
And I I heard that's like the main bad guy from one of the Persona games. Like the place that she's like trapped behind a wall somewhere with a boulder. That in real life you can actually go to the place that she's supposedly trapped behind, and it has armed guards there. Like if you try to like walk towards it, they'll just be like, "No, go the fuck away."
No, this isn't. That's not Persona 4 enemy.
Okay, it might be Persona 3. I'm not sure.
It's not Persona 3 either. The thing about Persona is it's pretty much Pokemon, but you summon demons and shit and angels instead of like dumb little electric rabbits. So you can summon Satan in it, and it's so metal, and he's weak to wind.
My one weakness, air.
It's just crazy because they use all these like really obscure different like picks from different mythology, from Greek gods to Shinto gods to our shitty Christian gods. Not my shitty Christian god. They don't have.
I summoned Jesus.
I summoned Judas.
He just like fills your inventory with fish and bread, and you're like, come on, man.
But yeah, they use mythology in such a great way, and they make up their own demons too. Obviously, they have their fun. They have their mascot character, which is forget what his name is, but yeah, it's a great show.
Yeah, I actually played one of the games for it. It was the Devil Survivor one.
Hunter, your voice got really weird.
Yeah.
Can you hear me?
No, it's just really deep
yes,
for some
but you are a
reason.
robot.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Hi, robot.
So, you played Devil Summoner?
Yeah.
Any thoughts on it?
I was waiting for my voice to even out. But the robot approves. I didn't play very much, but it was pretty cool.
You heard it here first.
Yeah.
All right.
I've actually been thinking about going back into it.
It's a pretty good game.
I also want to sneak in another, Rage of Bahamut Man. It's another. I already talked about it earlier, but it's another one of those, video game adaptations done right. Except it was a frickin' Japanese mobile trading card game that had absolutely no lore whatsoever to it. It was just literally a bunch of art of stuff, and then they just turned it into a really well-rounded story.
It seems like more of a reimagining than like a adaptation. Like
Yeah,
Persona
I
4,
would say
they took the entire storyline and like even like the game mechanics from the game and put it in the show somehow, and it made sense.
That's pretty damn cool, actually.
Yeah, but I can't stress enough, like, it's absolutely amazing that you can turn something as really weird as a mobile game into something that actually ends up fantastic and has, like, movie-level quality animation.
It's like making the fucking Hobbit trilogy out of, like, Clash of Clans or some shit.
Yeah, pretty much, actually.
Alright, now that we got all our...
Except, actually good.
Yeah.
Now that we got all our spiels out of the way, let's talk about what we're going to be talking about next week. I know some of you guys have thought about ideas for topics. I could pick one if need be, but I want to hear what you guys would put forward. So let's start with Carlos.
Well, I guess I would just say one of the ones I had, which was best. What's it called? The theme songs, ending and opening theme songs.
Alright, that's pretty good. How about you, Ari?
Well, I kind of wanted to stick more along the lines of shows, but I think I could probably go for something like maybe Mechs.
Ooh, good choice. I know
I'm down for Mechs, actually, yeah.
Hunter's gonna love that choice. I know that for sure. Alright, Dave.
I hadn't really thought of anything, but honestly, Mechs sounds pretty good to me, because that's a broad enough genre that I could find enough stuff that I've watched out of it to talk about.
Doing this despite me.
Yes.
Just getting the fucking pilot Shinji.
Alright, Hunter, what would you put forward?
If I had to pick, You know what? Fuck it. I'm with Samurai Champloo right now on my anime list. That's the one I'm rating now. So, we could do that. Or actually, another one that I think is good is, Ito Totora. I haven't actually watched the anime adaptation, but I read the manga a while back. It's about this kid who picks up a cursed spear and has to hunt.
You cut out.
Yeah.
Just to hunt demons, I think you said.
Yeah.
That sounds pretty good.
Well,
So either one of those.
with your shampoo suggestion, I mean, we could just broaden that to Shinichiro Watanabe pieces, and then just able to talk about all the awesome stuff he did.
Cowboy Bebop, Space Dandy,
Oh shit, the other one. That one with the girl and like the little girl and the mom that kidnaps her back and rides a motorcycle around in school.
oh yeah, Dragon Ball.
Ichigo and Hachin?
Yes.
Yes to both.
Yes. That thing.
And
What about you, Dean, though?
what?
What about you?
My backup choice was us talking about Full Metal Alchemist, both the original and Brotherhood.
Ooh. Yeah, those are pretty good, too.
Should we take a vote, I guess?
Sure.
Second Alchemist.
All right.
Yeah.
Brotherhood or the original?
What?
Both, I think.
I've never actually watched the entirety of the original one, but I have watched the entirety of Brotherhood, so I'd be down for that.
Well, I've already seen that, so I'm cool with that.
All right. You guys want to commit to this topic, or you guys want to talk about some of the other suggestions?
Well, what were the other suggestions? Just on a quick listing.
So Carlos, what did you have?
Theme songs?
Ari
I went for mechs.
and Dave.
I didn't really have anything to suggest. I was just agreeing with other people.
You had Max,
Okay.
and I had
And
Full
then I
Metal.
remember mine, which was Samurai Champloo and Yo and Tora.
So what?
Almost didn't remember it after I did.
Typical Hunter.
All right, everyone, type in the chat. What do you want?
Cast your votes.
All right, we're doing FMA.
Fucking
Well-
robot trying to do Jeopardy theme song and. Alright, quick, somebody get like a fucking void comp test. We're gonna test and see if it's still Hunter over there.
You find a turtle in the middle of the desert.
What's a turtle?
All right, so I guess we're doing Full Metal Alchemist, both the original and Brotherhood, and also if any of you guys read the manga, we can talk about that too. And
I did read a lot of it actually, yeah.
also the movies like Sacred Star of Milos and the other one,
Conqueror
Shambhala. Yes,
Yeah.
both of those are worth talking about.
No, they're not.
I
Yes, they are.
like
They're
those
Full Metal
movies.
I know. I'm just pulling your leg.
All right, so Dave, watch some Full Metal. Everyone
Wait.
else, maybe go watch one of the movies again, or I don't know. I might go back and watch that end fight scene in Brotherhood.
Yeah, fuck
It's a
yeah.
really fucking good fight.
Yeah,
It was.
but other than that, I mean, that's it. Good discussion, guys. We
But I think better boom.
we did another one of these,
Woohoo!
It's over.
and I
They can't
guess
stop us.
we'll see you next week.